Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Serious Slack with Serious Black. I am your host, Serious Black. If you are new here, you are just stumbled on a channel that does interviews with comic book creators, artists, musicians, whatever. We dive into the work and then we dive into the person behind the work. And today I am joined with comic book creator Omar Morales. Please, Omar,
Cerius,
introduce yourself.
thank you, thank you. I am a comic book creator, and like we were just talking about off air, I kind of fancy myself as a bit of a producer, really, because you know you're doing the hiring of the artists, you're contracting, you're trying to keep the trains, running on time. So you're like this project manager, business manager, and then you're also a marketer, you're a PR guy, you're a spokesperson, you're an advertiser. You wear all the
That's
hats.
true.
So yeah, I wrote it, and that's quote unquote the easiest part, but there's so much more that
Right.
goes into it, as you know, my man. Serious.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, you do have to kind of wear all of the hats.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing it right, I'll say if you're doing it
Uh-huh.
right, you do have to take on all those wheels.
Yeah.
I know many creators who are just like, I'm just gonna make the thing, and somebody else gotta help me do this.
Uh-huh.
But I love seeing and meeting creators like you. No, just anybody else, but that who knows that they have to do it all, and then that takes some time to like you have to learn what it takes to get your stuff out there and because it's your baby, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, here's a different, side question. You say you're a
Yeah.
producer and, and you do it all hiring and all that. Are you
Yeah.
like Suge Knight?
No, I am not like Suge
Okay.
Knight. I got no beef
Okay.
with Vanilla Ice. I'm not gonna be hanging them out the window.
All right, just checking. Just want to make sure the people are safe out there.
Oh yeah,
I like to start off the show by obviously talking about your work
yeah,
and things that you have done. Let me just throw something up and just have you
yeah,
talk about it,
yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so bam. Let's
Boom.
talk about, this one. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about that one first
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
number one's got to go first.
Yeah. Well,
All
that's the
right,
beauty
so
of the
tell us.
artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It caught me right away. So please dish on this.
Yeah. So Lunar Ladies is a project that started off as this small little like 10 or 12 page story in an anthology called Not Forgotten. It was run by a friend of mine, Matt, who's up there in Portland, your neck of the woods. And it got like a pretty good reception from readers. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to keep going with this and blow it up into like a full story, right? I think this ended up being like 80, maybe 90 pages, split up into three. Scout Comic wanted to sell them as single issues, which was new for
Okay.
me. I normally just do full graphic novel, and that's your only choice. But they were like, no, let's chop this up. Let's sell them as single issues, and then we'll do a trade. I was like, okay. So originally it was called Moon Girl, which is a public domain character. And then Scout was like, well, there might be some confusion with Marvel's version of Moon Girl, even though we can do it legally. Let's change it to Lunar Ladies. So
No,
I
it's
came
probably
up with,
best to avoid that. Yeah.
yeah, it's best to avoid the confusion and make sure customers, understand it. So this is like a throwback comic. It's like 1940 style storytelling because this is a golden age character that's been forgotten over time, a
Mhm.
public domain character. So I worked with a super talented colorist. Her name is Paula Goulart. She's from Brazil. And she like
Hmm.
stained the pages, man. She made each page
What?
look like it was like yellowed and like stained with like little imperfections. So the inside artwork is just like it's like a thing of beauty, man. It looks like the kind of book you would find in your grandma's attic, that's been lost to time. It's ray guns and laser rays and very pulpy, old-fashioned style storytelling. And this is rated PG, very clean,
Okay.
very kid friendly. And so
That
that
was
was
my
it.
next question.
Yeah, it's just a silly little, fun little project that I did with Scout. Um, yeah, this art right here was done by a
I was gonna say
neighbor of
this is a
mine.
different artist, right?
Yeah, yeah, this one's from Molly Satterthwaite. She's actually lived around the corner from me, which was weird because I found her on Instagram. Had no idea she lived like literally around the corner.
That's
I don't,
hilarious.
yeah, I don't think she lives there anymore. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to do a golden book style cover, with the little gold spine with the
Hmm.
little symbols, and she has
That's
this very Disney-esque quality that I really liked. So yeah, this was a fun project. Number three was Matt Harding. So he's the guy who organized the anthology to begin with, where I created this story, and he did this artwork. And so yeah, it's pulpy sci-fi. It's about these this race of women that live underneath the surface of the moon, and they've been there for 1,000,000 years. They're very advanced, and then they come to Earth, but they come to Earth during prehistoric times, and so there's all these like giant sloths and woolly mammoths and stuff in the background while these space ladies are fighting. So yeah, man, that was
That's
Lunar
pretty
Lady.
cool.
Yeah,
I mean, also that guy on the cover looks pretty cool right there.
that's actually a lady. That's a
it's a lady,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
better.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Is that a good lady or is that a bad lady?
No, she's a good lady. She's a good lady.
Okay.
Yeah, I did
Sure.
I did a little backup story on her where she started off on the bad side. She was kind of like more of like a revolutionary and wanted to take the government down, but then she gets recruited by the queen of the ladies that live on the moon to be her personal security, like because she's a badass, right? And she looks badass right here, right?
Yeah.
So she was kind of like a Han Solo, right? Like a roguish type character who went on the good side.
Rogue with a heart of gold. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up. Just from hearing around on your website, there's like other short stories that you've written. Is this correct?
Yeah. So I've got like let's see, 4 fan fictions on there, short story fan fictions. One of them's a Mandalorian. That one's like around 15 pages. I've got a Metroid one called Metroid Shred. That one's around the same 14, 15 pages. And then I got a second Metroid one called Metroid Other Fem. That one's a little longer. I think that one's like maybe 16 or 17 pages. And then I did this. Okay, you were asking me about music earlier. My favorite Christmas song of all time is called Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses. Came out in 1981.
Oh, okay.
And I did an homage to that song based on the 2 star-crossed, lovers from that song, because they'd been living in my head rent-free for like, 40 years or whatever. And I was like, I want to do a comic about these 2 people. And so I did a little fan fiction about them. I got permission from the record label ZE Records. And so all those are free on my website. They're fun little projects that I love to do in between bigger projects. Check out my website, theforcemedia.com. And if you like Star Wars or Metroid or like, that song Christmas rapping, these things are going to be right up your alley.
I hate to break it to you, man, but like, from what I hear, people don't like Star Wars, man. It's not popular or anything, man.
Well, you'd be surprised, man. There's so many YouTubers that are trying to bring the whole franchise down right now, man.
Yeah,
they just attack everything. They attack everything. It's like the show's not even out yet for a year, and they're attacking it a year in advance. It's like, come on, man.
Seriously, slackers, for those of you, I will be putting links in the description below, not only to his website, but like directly to those fan fictions, so you can check those out too. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Of course. There is another project that you worked on, and I know that there's a good story behind this, as well as some side thoughts that you may want to give. That is LA Strong.
Yeah.
Which dropped recently.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, Saturday they had a launch party down in LA at a comic shop called Revenge of Comics and Pinball, I think it's called.
Cool.
Anyway, so they had like a signing with creators. They had like a video messages. I had a little message in there too, just talking about California pride and how happy I was to be a part of this. It's a charity anthology. It's like 60 pages, $9.99, and it's loaded with like incredible talent, as well as like newcomers like myself. And it was a really fun, interesting project. Because I'm from California and this means a lot to me. But when Mike Martz and Sarah from Mad Cave put out the call, I pitched them my idea, and they were like, "Yeah, great, do it. Like, get us your copy in like a week." And so I was like writing the copy, for a 1-pager, but I had no idea what the art would look like, who the artist would be that I'd be paired with. And so I wrote this thing blind, as I like to say, and that was fun. It was interesting because when the art came back from the artist Stefano Cardoselli, he's Italian, super talented guy, I was like blown away. I was like, whoa, he did a splash page about this like android character who looks like he's escaped the fires, and all he's got with him is like a potted plant and a cat. And it reminded me a lot of The Professional with Jean Reno.
Oh yeah, I love that. Wait, okay.
Where he's walking down the street with a potted plant, and a gun. It reminded me of that, but imagine it like an android, And so, yeah, that's a really great project. I really hope people buy it because all the money goes to comics creators that were displaced or impacted by the fires in some way and need some kind of assistance. So props to Mad Cave for putting together the talent and then really putting its money where its mouth is to support the comics community in LA that was impacted. And I know a guy personally that his house burnt down and he had to go find a new place to live. So it's a very worthwhile project. The initial run was launched on Saturday, but I think the way they're doing it is they're still allowing shops to order. So there's going to be like a second wave of orders. So if people want to get in on it, look up madcave.com, search LA Strong, get the Lunar order code, and ask your shop for it. It's
I will link it below, y'all.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome. Wow. Well, thank you for taking part in that, and thank you for sharing. And I'm sorry for everybody that was affected by that.
Yeah.
It's,
right.
There are several other endeavors. Maybe I'll link those too. But it's nice to see that somebody did something to support this cause.
Yeah, yeah, really great project. Really proud of that one, especially being from here in California. I had a very personal connection to it, and you'll see that in my little one pager at the end. Very personal touch.
I think that normally I go into some other endeavors at this point, but with that being said, because you just hit on something,
yeah,
that is a stressful situation and can be, can cause some sadness, things like that. Are there other? I'm sure there's other things in your life that also weigh on you as you're just trying to be the best creative that you can be.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do in those times? Like when you still are trying to make stuff to maintain your sanity, your peace, what brings you joy outside of being the producer?
Yeah. Well, these days, man, it's far and few between, but generally speaking, I try to live as balanced a life as I can, spending time with my family. I'm an avid exerciser, probably 7 days a week. I mix in some running, I'm mixing some cross training. I'm a big believer in prayer, meditation. Sometimes I'll go on YouTube and find frequencies, that help you zen out or de-stress. Last night I was listening to this dude who had these bowls that make sounds when he does this on them.
Yes. Yeah.
Sound bath. Yeah. It didn't really work though. I couldn't fall asleep.
No, I have one of those here. My wife has one. But my thing on YouTube is watching restoration videos. Old mechanics or just tools guys will just rebuild something that's just terrible, and just watching them just puts me in zen. And the next thing I'm asleep with my phone on my face. So
yeah,
you ever do this thing? You ever do the thing where you just drop the phone on your face?
No, I haven't done that one yet.
Oh man, you're lucky. You're lucky. Yeah. Don't look at it laying back like this.
Yeah.
Because then you're still not asleep. But you did send me some photos. Now I haven't really looked at them on purpose because I wanted to just put them up and have you talk about them. Let's just go ahead and get this up right now. And with this first one right here, tell us about this.
We're massive Nintendo fans at my house. I've been playing since I was a little tiny kid on the first NES. My kids have grown up with it, and this was in San Francisco. Nintendo had an exclusive party for the launch of the Wii U. So this was before the Wii U was available for sale. They had a play test for consumers. So we went to San Francisco. It was awesome, man. The Mario was there, Luigi was there, Yoshi was there. We got to play games. We got to look at the new console. And my kids were just in heaven. So yeah, man. This is a very cherished memory here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talk about memories, man.
Yeah. When they opened Nintendo World at Universal Studios a couple years ago, we went down there, and that was awesome too. My kids are much older now, but they were still all about the big red end for sure.
20 years from now, when you're wearing your Nintendo face mask, you can look back on this day. Right. Where's my new Switch helmet?
Right. Well, that's because we're going to be living on Mars, right? So we're going to have oxygen and the whole. Yes, I will have a red helmet with the.
We're gonna live on Mars, and somebody gonna die because they didn't get that DLC in time.
Oh,
what's happening here?
Okay, we live near Oakland, and so we're massive A's, Raiders, Warriors. It's sad that they're all gone now, Warriors in
Mhm.
San Francisco. A's are, I don't know where they're going to end up. They're in Sacramento now. My predictions, they're going to end up in Portland, up in your neck of the woods, because I don't believe that thing in Las Vegas is going to happen.
Yeah, no, everybody been pretty skeptical about that. I don't think that's gonna. But if they come here too, like, I mean, we need them.
I heard they're building like a state of the art thing right on the water in Portland. They don't have a team yet, but they've like cleared out the area. And
It is, but you can't really. Well, not from where we look. We can't see what
Yeah.
they're building in there. Like we're going by there to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
But it's pretty like secretive, unless you're getting shots. Like when we see it on the news, you can see the shots from above. But like us Portlanders going over there, it's just like, okay, well,
Yeah.
can you move this stuff so we can look in there?
Right. Yeah, so
and
this is a pastime for sure. Is sports, you know.
okay.
I love to, like, basketball for me is de-stress time. Football to me is high stress time. I don't know how that works in my head, but I'm on the edge of my seat when it comes to football. But with basketball, or even baseball too, you can passively watch it while you're on your phone or cooking dinner or whatever. But with football, I need to see every snap. Like I'm all in. This is like my dad, my brother, my cousins, like they're all heartbroken too that the teams are gone. So too sad. Let's move on.
Okay. It didn't look like a good tailgate party though.
Oh man, dude, the best tailgate. Yeah, a Raiders tailgate party. Phew. Sometimes the party's so good people don't even make it into the game. Let me just say that.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so this is another A's game where they had a partnership with Lucasfilm, and so Vader, Boba Fett was there, the Troopers, and yeah, this is a great memory too, man. I grew up going to this place, the Oakland Coliseum, and now it's just a big deserted hunk of concrete, and it just breaks my heart every time I drive past it or I ride BART and I'm on the train and I see it. Oh man, it's just that's where I grew up, man. This was like my backyard.
I'm just bumming him out today, y'all. Like,
great memory, but
supposed to be getting the good stuff. And
well, no, I mean this picture right here is like so representative of me, like the Coliseum, the Star Wars, the A's, you know, my family. These are all like my favorite things all combined into one. So I love this picture.
Do you have this kind of stuff posted up around your house too, and just like
not these pictures, but I've got all kind of toys behind me. There's an old Nintendo back there. There's a skateboard. I mean, and I got more stuff up here above the desk. I got my Raider stuff, my Michigan stuff. I got some lightsabers. You know, yeah, I got all kinds of this. This is my man cave.
Do you skate too?
I skate, but like I'm not a hardcore skater. I just ride now because, like, you know, I'm getting older, so I can't do the tricks. I'm not as flexible as I used to be. So when I do skate, I just ride. You know, I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I'm just riding down the street. Yeah.
But that relaxes you, right? And that brings you some peace.
Not only does it relax my mind, but it relaxes my body, because when you're on the asphalt on the street, it vibrates, right? The board vibrates, and therefore your body vibrates, and it feels so good coming off of a ride. Like your whole body is just de-stressed, and like all the vibrations have like kind of recalibrated you in some way. And skating on a, you know, not the smoothest surface ever gives you a nice vibration.
I imagine there's probably some skate parks around there too. Not that you're not trying to do any tricks and all that, but like
yeah. There are skate parks around here. I one time saw a guy around my age kind of trying to hang with the young guys, and he ended up getting an ice pack and all. He was all messed up. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to partake.
Not going to be me. So,
yeah, right.
Okay, no, I can respect that. Hey, thanks for taking some time to share that with me. As you folks know, that's a very important part to me in this show is, you know, getting a little bit behind the creative mind and what brings them peace, because that's what's important to me. So again, thank you for sharing a little bit of that with me. But now it is time for you to get back to work. I want to cue this up because he has something new, and I mean real new, coming out. So I'm going to play this, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? Let's blow this up. Oops, sorry.
Woo, I'm pumped up. I'm ready. Where can I find that
Man,
book?
man, that was mad dope, son.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It has
Um,
custom music, man. I have a friend of mine, Tom Brafoil. He does comics, but he does music too. He did that custom music for that piece.
okay, first let me just say that looked really dope. The colors, the arts, the
Mm.
story, like it just looks like it's gonna be one hell of a venture, and like that's kind of my jam. So I'm gonna be all over that piece. You best believe it. Tell me about the project. Give me a little scoop on it.
Yeah, yeah. Major Tomas is about a young Mexican American kid. He grows up in the Central Valley of California as a farmhand with his mom, single mom, raises him. He grows up poor, he's got no means, but he wants to be an astronaut. His mom really encourages him. He does well in school, gets a NASA scholarship, goes off to college. His best friend, Lisa, they become lovers, and he's going off into space and he gets lost. I don't want to go too much into the reasons why he gets
Ooh.
lost. He ends up encountering these aliens and these AI robots who are warring, and he's in the middle of this thing. He doesn't want to be in the middle of this thing. He's a scientist, he's a pilot, he's not a soldier. But in order to earn his way back to Earth and get help from these robots, they make a deal with him that he's got to go to war with them, and then after they're done, they'll try to help him get back. So I'll just leave it there, man. It's a young adult action adventure sci-fi. It's coming of age. It's a little bit of romance. We got explosions and guns and spaceships and all kind of manner of fun stuff. Yeah. He's got to go on a hero's journey to dig deep inside to find the fortitude to find a way back home, so he can get back to Lisa, who he loves. There's some stuff I'm holding back because I want people to be surprised and delight. Yeah.
I like my flabbergasted. So
That's a good one, dude. I'm gonna have to use that. But yeah, it just went on sale today on Amazon exclusively. It's a digital book. It's part of their Comixology Originals line. So, like most companies nowadays, they like to have their own content that they control, and so this is under the control of Comixology. You can only get it there. It's about 120 pages plus some extra bonus content. Let's call it 130 total. $6.99 on Amazon. And so if you love classic science fiction themes, action adventure, hero's journey, it's all in there. And coming from the background that I come from, I do sprinkle in subtly issues, bullying, racism, socioeconomic oppression, And so some of these things that we see with him on Earth when he's a kid are echoed even out in space in the middle of this war. If you love pop culture, this book is loaded with Easter eggs and little subtle references to all my fandoms and things that are popular out there. And so I want people doing the Leonardo DiCaprio, like, hey, I understood that reference. Yes, exactly.
Well, do you like pop culture? Looks at his
I
room.
love it. Yeah.
Looks at his room, right? And then also in latest news as well, with that, being available, which, yes, I will link it below, y'all. We got this.
Yes.
This is like happening almost now.
Yeah, this is very timely, right? The book launched today, and then this Friday, I'm going to be down at WonderCon. There's this wonderful organization called Creators Assemble. They're part of a group of librarians and teachers. And by the way, Creators Assemble wrote for me an educator's guide that's in the back of the book. So if you're a teacher, you're a librarian, or you're just a parent that wants your kid to learn something, in the back of my book, there's 3 pages of like exercises, themes, like, what do you think about this? Prompts. Like one of the prompts is, hey kids, as you read this book, what songs come to your mind? Make up your own playlist of what you think would accompany this book and this story. It's got, facts, figures, historical stuff like NASA. So one of the reasons I created the book Cerius is that NASA has a lot of Latino heroes that have come up through the ranks that are engineers, flight directors, and astronauts. And not a lot of people know this. So I want people to know I'm not just making up BS here. These are real people with brown skin that have made it. Some of them were farm workers. One lady worked at McDonald's. One lady came here from Colombia, and she was a housekeeper, and she made it into NASA and became a flight director. So I'm not blowing smoke. These are real people that need to be recognized. And so, yes, my character is fictional, but he's based on real people.
That's pretty awesome, man. Like, I learned something new today, and whenever that happens for me, And it's the reason why I started the show. So I seriously thank you for putting me on to some things.
Yeah. Like the
That's
NASA stuff
fantastic.
you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
Yeah.
another little side note, a little interesting fact to it. The foreword of my book was written by astronaut Jose M. Hernandez. He has a movie about his life right now on Amazon Prime called A Million Miles Away, and it documents his life
Oh.
coming here as an immigrant from Mexico. He's from the same hometown as my dad. That's one of the reasons how I think I was able to make a connection with him and get him to do the forward for my book. So he's a real life guy. He stole my heart in 2009. He went into space, and when they showed the videos of him floating in the capsule, he broke out his Oakland Raiders flag and started waving it in space on the capsule. And I was like, that's my dude. I got to meet this guy. I got to know this guy. And so the stars all came together. He wrote the forward to Major Tomas. He's an amazing
That's your
dude.
guy.
Yeah, that's my guy. And a Raider fan. He's from the same town as my dad. I mean, the connections are endless between us. And I always been telling people lately that it was written in the stars that he and I would collaborate like this one day.
I'm like inspired. That's
Well, thank you, man. It's a young adult book, and I really hope young people are inspired by it.
I mean, that's just pure dopeness. Because
I'll take it.
yeah, y'all dig that, right? Tell me. I want to hear some or see some comments down below on this video on your thoughts on this, and let me know if you pick up the book too. I'd love to circle back and then talk about, maybe we can do a book club read, or just a little talk about, after we read it together or something like that. So think it over, get back to me. So now we are going to move on to one of my favorite parts of the show, and that is the bonus round. That is where I proceed to torture you with a list of ridiculous ass questions that I came up with.
Okay.
We're gonna spin a wheel to figure out which ones you're gonna answer.
All right. So you're Pat Sajak, and I'll be like Vanna White. Be like, big money, big money.
Hold on, wait. What if I want to be Vanna White?
Okay, I'll be Pat Sajak.
All right, yeah, there we go.
I don't even know if those two are still doing Wheel of Fortune. I imagine they are.
I don't even know if Wheel of Fortune is a thing still. So, I mean, now I'm gonna go look. Thanks. Nah.
I know it's a popular slot machine in Vegas, Wheel of Fortune.
You ready? I'm gonna do the first spin. Let's see what we get.
All right.
Number 25. Okay.
25.
Yay. 25.
Right.
Number question is, okay, this is a good one. What is your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with grape purple. I love grape purple anything. Jolly Ranchers, Kool-Aid, Otter Pop, Cerius grape.
Otter Pop.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Popsicle.
Do you remember?
I don't drink a lot of soda, but I'll drink a grape soda.
No, I feel that. Do you remember a candy from back when we was kids called Alexander the Grape? It used to come in like a little box like lemon heads, but it was grape flavored.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It was like a hard candy.
Yeah, like a hard candy, but tasted really good, really messed up your teeth. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love grape flavored, purple colored at just about anything. So yeah.
You want that purple drink?
The purple drink, dude. Oh my god. That was a thing when Jamarcus Russell was the quarterback of the Raiders. He got busted for drinking purple drink in the streets.
Oh my god. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get for number 2. You got the first question.
All right.
The first question
Number one
that I ever thought of on this list. So what was that? The question is, what was the last thing that made you audibly say, "Oh, hell no"?
Oh my god. Well, with politics being what it is, these days, it was when it was suggested that the Gulf of Mexico should become the Gulf of America. I was like, oh hell no. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I got to think back on
how do you do that? Like, who does that? Oh, I want to rename Greenland and call it Red, White, and Blue Land. Says who? Who do you ask permission to? Come on.
From this day forth, we shall no longer call it pudding. We will call it tasty soft.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you
If
on
we were speaking Spanish, I'd say no mames. That's kind of like somewhat equivalent to oh hell no.
that. No mames. Okay.
No mames.
No mames. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Mm-mm.
All right, number 3. It is 18. All right, what was my 18 frame of mind? Oh, okay. 18 calls for one movie-related hot take. Doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad, just something that's your personal hot take on any movie you choose.
Okay, let me go. I'm very passionate about this.
Oh boy.
Probably my favorite movie of all time, and it gets no shine from nobody, probably but me, is Gattaca. It's a futuristic movie about the homeboy who wants to be an astronaut, but his genetics are not good enough because he wasn't engineered. He's a normal human, and he has to struggle and fight. And it is loaded with the most amazing cast, dude. It's got Tony Shalhoub. It's got Ernest Borgnine. It's got homegirl Uma Thurman. It's got remember Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad? He has a cameo role as a cop in that movie. Alan Arkin, dude. Oh my god, I love that. But Jude Law, that was like Jude Law's coming out party.
Dude, we finna be friends because I fucking love Gattaca. No bullshit.
Love that movie. And
I talk to my boy about it all the time. Sorry,
Major Tomas is a combination of lots of things. Gattaca is one of them. Okay, along with Jose M. Hernandez, the astronaut. The song Major Tom, okay, David Bowie, Space Oddity, Peter Schilling, and by the way, the record company for Peter Schilling's song Major Tom gave me permission to use a very small selection of lyrics from his song and that's in the climax of the story. Dude, Gattaca, I can talk about that movie all day, every day.
I think, because I saw it when I was young, because that was the 90s, right?
97.
97, yeah. Bro, I was like 2 years out of high school when I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, and so let me tell you something. When I saw it, that may have been the first time that I really understood dedication, because the stuff that he put himself through to get to where he was going, and I think I've seen it like 50 times since then.
Yeah.
So if you've never seen Gattaca, go watch it and understand the realness of what we're talking about.
Oh my god, it's such a great movie, dude. I could go on forever about it.
Wait till I tell my other co-host that somebody else likes Gattaca.
Oh,
he's gonna flip.
Let's have a Gattaca party if I ever make it to Portland.
Yo, we got to do that. Yay, 27.
What do I win?
you win the option of telling me one of your bad habits.
I pick up my thumbs a lot. There's a scientific name for it. I don't know what it's called, but like
at the skin?
Yeah, I pick at the skin. And I have like these little hangnails. They, sometimes they get bloody, and so it's like a nervous tick that I have, like since I was a kid. And I notice other people in my family have it too. I'm not the only one. It's kind of maybe even a subconscious thing where I'm doing it at times, and I don't even notice it. But yeah, there's a scientific name. It's like it's got some kind of it's not a phobia. It's some kind of affliction. But anyway, yeah. That's a very bad habit that I have.
Well, I'm sorry, because that sounds painful.
It can be sometimes. It can be.
Let's see. Do I have one? I think it's only fair. I'm a beard puller. I do this constantly. Like, there's nothing in there. It's nothing. It's nothing. And I'm just doing this all the time. Like, I thought that was a joke when you see people like doing this, like thinking, like, no, that's real. Yeah. I'm constantly doing
what there might be in there? Some purple flavor, man.
I should just wash it, huh? No. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the last one, right?
Okay.
I think this is last. I think
Yeah, these are good, man. I like these.
Number 8. Yeah. Oh man, this is cheating. You already answered this. Number 8 was, what is your preference of ASMR? Meaning, what kind of videos and stuff do you watch to help you relax? You told me earlier.
I'll tell you some different videos I like to watch on YouTube, though. I consume hours and hours and hours about alien theory. Are aliens here? Have they always been here? Are they living underground? Are they in the ocean? How many different species of alien are there? Why do they abduct people? Is our government in cahoots with them? Crashes of vehicles. Like, I eat all that stuff up, and you will see some of that stuff reflected in my book, Major Tomas.
Is there any particular like channel on YouTube that you?
My favorite channel is called American Alchemist. The host, Jesse Michaels, he's so smart, man. He interviews like these super famous like old white guys, let's just call them what they are, that have been
Mhm.
either in the government or in the military that know stuff, and he weaves his way in there and he gets them to open up and talk about the stuff. And I am 100% convinced it's all real. We may not know the exact details because there's a lot of noise that the gatekeepers try to create around this subject. They'll mix in
Yeah.
truth with lies so that people don't know what the hell's going on. But
Mhm.
one thing I can tell you with conviction is there is intelligent life outside of human beings. I don't know where they're from. I don't know where they're at. I don't know their capabilities, but they're here, man.
I'm a firm believer in that myself. I haven't gone as far as no, I've looked for proof here and there in my life, but I think I've always just lived with the knowledge that we are not alone. Just like I
Yeah.
accepted it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now, since they haven't come and talked to me, I just kept
Yeah.
doing what I was doing.
Right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
well, if they want to holler at you, boy, I'm down.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know,
I'll tell you something real quick, man, if you got time just for a quick story.
yeah,
By the way, I just wrote about this on my Substack blog. I think I put it out on Sunday. All the like weird, what I would call paranormal adjacent things that have happened to me in my life. Because just like you,
Yeah.
I've never met an alien. I've never even seen a spaceship, a UFO, a UAP, whatever you want to call it. Never seen one. Fascinated with the subject, but never seen one. My grandma, when she was getting older, she came from Mexico and she came to live at my house with my parents and me and my brother. And she had this little corner room that was an office, my dad's office, and then we made it to a bedroom for her so she could be comfortable at the end of her life. And she came out with the story one day like, yeah, I got these little gray angels that come and visit me at night. A bright light shines outside the window, and then they appear, and they're like 3 foot tall. They're bald. They have these big black eyes. And the first time I saw them, I said, "Hey, hold it right there. Are you from the devil or are you from God?" And they said, "Oh, we're from God. We're here to help you. We love you. We're going to look after you." And she was like, "All right, cool. These are my homies. These are my angelitos." She called them her angelitos, which means little angels. She's like, "They're so
Okay.
small and they're so cute." And she wasn't scared at all, man. And she just accepted it for what it is. And this is in the home that I grew up in. There's some other weird paranormal things that have happened in and around my house growing up there, but that for me takes the cake. When she tells that story, or I remember that story, I hear the X-Files sound in my head, you know.
Yeah. I've had some things, but I'm saving mine for I have a segment on my channel called Serious Stories,
Okay.
and you reminded me of one that I should probably release soon because I've
Yeah.
had some stuff happen. So,
All right, well, hit me with that link when it pops out because I want to hear it.
okay, word up. Yeah, we got a lot in common, man. We got a lot in common.
Boom.
Right? Oh yeah, let me.
Boom.
Wow. All right. That's the end of the show.
Okay.
We've gotten through all of my segments, but I had so much fun that I forgot. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end, and then we are going to prepare to do a music video reaction together real quick.
Mm.
And thank you so much for coming on here.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure, dude.
Yeah, I can't tell you how much fun I had today.
Likewise, dude.
I'll tell you a little bit more in a sec. All right.